Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Just sitting down here with Aaron Alleluia from Remax Kelowna. Aaron started with us, about 8 years ago in real estate, Aaron?
10, actually.
10 years ago already?
Yeah.
Holy cow. So, Aaron, one of the things we're going to talk today a little bit about your business, about how you started off and built a really good business and then had a little bit of a tailing off and kind of struggled in the business for a while and then now started to get that turned around. And so we wanted to talk a little bit about, why you got into real estate or how you got into real estate to start with. So why don't we answer that question? What got you here?
Well, it was literally a suggestion from a fellow realtor, my realtor actually. I had sold 3 of my houses and I had sold the business I was in and really kind of was just taking a bit of time to reflect and see where life was going to take me. And we were having lunch and she said to me, she goes, "What are you going to do with your life?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And she's like, "You should become a realtor." And I'm like, "Really?" I really never thought of being a realtor. And she just said, "You know what? You're great with people, and what's the worst that could happen?" I said, "You're right." So I literally that afternoon went and ordered the books, signed up for the course, and now 10 years here I am. And honestly, it's been the best decision I've ever made.
Awesome. So how would you describe your first few years in real estate?
I was fortunate. First few years, there was a gradual incline coming out of the Great Depression of 2008. And so it was a bit of an easier upswing heading into what happened in 2020, 2021. It was steady. I learned a lot. I listened even more and asked a lot of questions. And thankfully, got some of those questions answered, and it's really helped excel my business.
After that, you saw some real strong early successes in the business.
Yeah.
And how did you achieve that?
Answering the phone, answering any possible lead that came in, whether it was email, social media, however that looked, and just did open houses and just really started to realize selling real estate's a lot about building relationships. And if you can build great relationships, the houses are going to sell themselves. And you just got to guide them towards the finish line.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? It is a relationship business.
Oh, 100%.
It's not a business sitting behind your computer in your basement of your home and trying to do it, is it? And
not
we'll talk
at
about
all.
that a little bit more as well.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. But it's also not just the clients that's important to have relationships with. It's other realtors that you need to have good relationships with too, because business comes from them. They might get a sign call. If you got a good relationship with them, they're calling you to say, "Hey, can you take care of this? Can you help me out here?" Vacations, retirement, all that sort of stuff. So those relationships are just as important.
It's interesting because you say that, because you and I have had this conversation about this before, and one of the things I loved what you said one time to me was, people don't realize that half of the people who are involved within a real estate transaction is another realtor on the other side.
Absolutely.
And it is one of the things that does really astound me is how much I hear from realtors in the office about how poorly they're being treated by a realtor on the other side. And I always wonder, how is that going to reflect next time that realtor brings an offer and you're listing on a multiple offer, things like that, how much damage they do to their reputation by being difficult to deal with?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've always been the kind of fun guy. I joined some great committees that really got me in front of other realtors, not just here at Remax, but outside of Remax and all the other brokerages. And 10 years ago when I started, I felt like a chihuahua in a pit bull field. And my only thing that I could say to myself was get to know everybody and more importantly, everybody needs to get to know me. And that was a solid foundation for where kind of my success went from there. Because not only it helps you with the negotiations, but it just makes the deal so much easier when you both have common ground, you respect each other, and you can move forward. And even when the sale goes sideways, that's even more important when the respect, dignity, all that stuff has to be in place, because you are going to do another deal with that person eventually.
Exactly. So one of the things we're going to talk about today is a slowdown.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at what point did you notice your business was slowing down? It was going the wrong direction.
When the check stopped coming in.
Well, that's a pretty dramatic way to do it, for sure.
Oh, wow. I mean, we all had that one big year coming out of COVID. And then for me, that 1 year was kind of I had my biggest year, and then I had one of my worst years following that. I couldn't put a deal together if I tried. The market slowed down. Everybody was blue and glum and just not into it. And so was I. And that's where I fell into that hole of listening to everybody else when I should have said, no, this is my time to shine, and picked myself up. I let my foot off the gas and suffered for that.
And interesting at that point, too, I noticed that's kind of when you went home and started working from home.
Absolutely.
Took yourself out of the office, took you away from people around you, and so...
Self-isolated.
Yeah, which was just basically...
Worst mistake of my life.
So probably about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, you and I started talking about this and looking at it. What did you do? What was really the turning point for you that said, hey, I've got to change what I'm doing here because this is not working. I've got to get into the current market.
Oh, the paychecks weren't coming in again. At the end of the day, you got to look at yourself and say, what are the changes that I made from when I was on top of the mountain, and say, okay, these are the changes I made. I need to rectify those changes. Obviously, it was something that I did. The market shifted, sure, but there was still business to be had. Mm-hmm. I wasn't making the calls. I wasn't meeting people. I wasn't sending out newsletters. I wasn't doing the things I needed to do because prior to that, and let's face it, COVID made us lazy. The high times of COVID where you picked up the phone, you were making deals. You were making deals before they even hit the market. It was so crazy. So you got kind of spoiled by that and forgot about the work that it takes to build those relationships. So to probably tie into something else that's going to come up is I had to put on my shoes, get into the office, surround myself with fellow realtors who are successful, and lose the ego. Just say, I need to get back to basics.
So in that time frame, did you ever consider leaving real estate?
Not really.
No.
I thought, what else could I do? The hardest part about what attracted me to real estate is the ability to have a bit of freedom and with my time. Meaning I can work from home, I can go to the office, I can work from lots of different places, I can be out and about and meeting people, which also ties into work, which I love to do. So if I was stuck behind a desk 9 to 5, I'm not going to be that happy.
What sparked the turnaround for you? I know you say paychecks and stuff like that, as we all. I mean, it definitely is a big part of it. But what do you think it really was?
Passion too, and looking in the mirror and just saying, "You can do this. You did it for 8 years prior. What is changing? You can do this, and you're good at it. You've proved it. So pick up your socks and get out and do it again."
Great. So, what were the first key changes that you made in this when you made this decision to, hey, I'm going to get back to work?
Go back to the office. Sit in the office. Be around fellow realtors. Talk about real estate. Taking the 100 Days to Greatness course from Buffini really opened my eyes to all the things I wasn't doing.
Yeah.
Right? All the things I wasn't doing. Making the phone calls, sending the mail outs, touching the clients in that respect. Simply saying hi.
Awesome. Well, and it's nice to see because you are on track this year to probably double last year's income.
Yeah.
Which is a great turnaround.
For sure.
And when you start thinking, okay, well, I'm going to double my business from last year. Our market has not doubled.
Nope.
So what's the change really is what you're doing to drive your business forward.
Absolutely. And taking control of that business, not sitting on the sidelines waiting for it to happen for me.
Yeah. And how long did it take you to kind of feel like you were getting traction from this change?
I would probably say a good year.
Yeah.
Something we always talk about is you plant a seed today, you're not bearing the fruit tomorrow, right? Real estate's a long game at the end of it. At the end of the day, real estate's a long game, and you got to be planting those seeds, making the phone calls.
So what does your business look like today compared to before?
Thriving.
Awesome.
Thriving. Buyers are scarce. But when you work with them, and you can work with them so much more closely now and find them the right product, they become your champions, And sellers, well, if you can sell their property, they become your champions too.
Yeah,
they're both very difficult right now.
They are both very difficult, but it's, we've been friends for a long time, even before real estate.
Yeah.
And it really makes me happy to see the turnaround that you've done and watched your business change in the last year and a half, back to being on track to where you used to be, which is awesome. So congratulations for that.
Well, I appreciate that. And I have to thank you because you've been one of when I walk into your office bitching and complaining, you set me straight.
Well, it is funny that we're a business that people like to look for. We just did an interview earlier with another agent from the office, and he said, we asked him about, learning scripts, and he goes, that's an excuse.
Yeah.
Right? And then
There's lots of excuses in this business. It's all excuses, really.
Exactly. At the end of the day, as I always tell people, if you're pointing your finger at somebody else, there's three of them pointing back at you.
100%. That's one thing that, honestly, you've told me that has stuck with me since you brought it up, and there's no one to blame in this business other than myself.
Awesome. Well, Aaron, appreciate you doing this with us today.
Oh, my pleasure.
Congratulations on a turnaround, especially in a market like this, to turn your business around.
Yeah,
obviously, you're doing the right stuff now.
Appreciate it.
Again, guys, like and subscribe. If you've got any questions that you'd like to ask Aaron, put them in the comments. We'll find the answers for you, and get back to you with those questions. So again, like and subscribe. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.